But first, for the second time this week, a vicious bee attack put somebody in the hospital. Mary Ellen Resendez is live in Queen Creek tonight. Mary Ellen, this guy was mowing his lawn when suddenly he was attacked by a swarm of bees.
That's right, Steve. In fact, if you take a look, the lawnmower is still in the very same spot that it was when Jesus Garcia ran from it, obviously being swarmed by these bees. Firefighters say it's not uncommon for the noise of a lawnmower to actually attract bees, but they never expected to find what they did when they rolled up.
Took me a second to actually process what was happening.
Firefighters say they've seen some bad bee attacks, but never a man passed out covered in bees, and they just weren't on him.
I would say this whole block that we're standing in was affected by a lot of bees.
Williams says even the cars passing by were getting covered in bees, but his focus quickly went to Jesus Garcia, who was mowing this front yard when more than 50 bees covered him. The poison from the stings were too much for his body to handle, causing him to pass out, while a neighbor desperately tried to help.
She actually tried really hard to protect this gentleman. She knew at one point he stood up, he actually went down again. She came out in the street and flagged somebody down.
Shortly afterwards, Pat Folks, who owns the house, pulled up.
She also to be very careful because there's still a lot of bees over there.
Folks said Garcia works for her, and she was obviously very worried.
He's mowed this lawn a lot, and he's never had a problem with the honeybees before. I came home while the first aid guys were all here, and they helped me get in the house because there was a few there in the doorway.
Garcia's hat still laid on the ground where it fell when paramedics rushed him off.
But when he left here, his skin color was not very good, and he was unconscious.
Now, we spoke with Garcia's son, and he tells us that his father is improving. In fact, firefighters also confirmed that he does seem to be responding to treatment. And so everybody out here right now is praying for him. He is an elderly gentleman, and obviously the amount of bee stings that he had were just a little bit too much for his body to handle. Steve?
Yeah, unbelievable. Such a sudden attack there. Thank you, Mary Ellen.